I put myself in the Jerusalem hills, and then I put the Western Wall in my back on my screensaver also. So we would sense that we were in Jerusalem because we're doing Yom Yerushalayim. We're devoting ourselves to Yom Yerushalayim as the theme. So as we're waiting for people to come on board, I gradually get people are going to come in more and more. I'm going to start up with the service. Go right into it. It's a long service because it's also, I want to do something for Memorial Day. I want to do something for Yom Yerushalayim, and it's also Rosh Chodesh, blessing of the new month. So all of those things coming in. So we're going to start out with our Siddur, Shochen Ad, page 336. Shochen Ad Marom Mekadosh Shemo V'chatu V'ranu Tzadikim Baronai La Yesharim Nava Tehila Befi Yesharim Tithala Ov Divrei Tzadikim Titbarach Ov Ilshon Chasidim Titramam Ov Bekerev Kehedoshim Titkahadash Over Makalot, Rivevot, Amcha Beit Yisrael. לא לעלה לשבח לפועל, רמם לעדר, לברך לעלה לקלש, על כל דברי שירות תשבחות, דוד בן ישי עבדך משיחך, ישתבח שמך עד מלכנו. יודעות מעתה ביד עולם ברוך אתה אדוני המלך גדול ותשבחות אל הודות אדון הנפלאות הבוחר בשירי זמר המלך אחי העולמים. And I think we have a virtual minion. I've got 8 here, me is 9. I think there's one more in one of the phone calls or videos there. So Joe is coming on, Joe Ben Lulu. All right, so our numbers are growing. Yeah. Good, so we've got our virtual minion here. So we're going to continue with the Baruch Hu, page 338, 339 in the Sim Shalom. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Baruch Adonai Chodom Etzavorech Hashech Choser Shalom et Hakol. The Lord who has created light and darkness, creates peace and creates all that exists. And we continue with the song of the angels, the El Adon, and we'll join in with this rendition of El Adon. And I'm going to move my video over here, my group, and let's start in El Adon. Here we go.
El Adon
Very good. A little bit of rhythm for the day and put everybody else back in view. Let's see how we've got everybody here with us now. Okay, crowd is growing. Good. Marcella came back on. Yeah, some of us, I'm going to apologize. Some of us came on and the system disconnected. I had a technical glitch, but we're back in. And it's a big day. I see Rachel here. Okay. Everybody else is coming back in. That's wonderful. Let's go ahead now into the morning service. We go to the vision of the angels giving their praise to God in the words of Isaiah and then in the words of Ezekiel. Kadosh, Kadosh, holy, 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 and Baruch Shem Kavod, blessed be the presence of God from his resting place. And let us start here. ולא מקבלים עליהם או מלכות שמיים זה מזה ונותנים רשות זה לזה להקדיש ליוצרם בנחת ורוח בסוף ונאמר קדושו כולם כאחד ויהי רק קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות ארץ כבודו באופנים וחיות הקודש ברעש קוראים מתנסים לעומת שרפים ותם משפים ואומרים ברוך כבוד אדוני and then we give praise for God as creator of the lights. Baruch Adonai Baruch Adonai Yotzei HaMeorot. And now let's all join in Ava Rabbah together, full voice. Got our company in here. And we'll join in Ava Rabbah Haftanu Adonai Eloheinu Hem Lagenu Lavitera Amad Aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Avoteinu Shebatu Lecha Avinu Malkeinu Matelamdem Chukechayim Ken Techanenu Tlamdeinu Avinu Rachem Rachem Aleinu Ken Belibenu Lehavin Lahashkel Lishma Limonu Le'amein Lishma Belasa Ulekayem Ekol Divrei Talmud Torah Techa B'Ahava V'ha'erinenu b'Toratecha v'da'abek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached le'olavenu yahava u'lira et shemecha v'la'olam Agadol Nagila v'nismecha Nagila v'nismecha v'shuatecha. And very appropriate in the theme of Yom Yerushalayim. Avienu l'shalom E'aba karpot haaretz V'tolicheinu kamemiyot Kamemiyot le'aseinu Selah, Selah, Be'emet, La'odot lecha, U'yachedecha b'Yahava, Baruch Atah Adonai, Abocher b'Moiseh b'Yahava. And now, a few weeks ago, I picked up a curiosity, which was the Shema as chanted by the Samaritans, and that may represent the sound of Hebrew of the northern tribes. Well, the closest to the oldest Hebrew is that of the Yemenites, at least that's what they claim, and has many elements that you find both in Ashkenazic and the Iranian pronunciations, not in the Sephardic pronunciations. So we're going to chant the Shema. We're going to have it chanted for us in a Yemenite rhythm, the Shema and the first verses.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Ahad, V'ohavta Ed Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavecha U'b'chol nefshecha U'b'chol medecha. وهايو هالدبورين هو إلا أشر أونخي مصوخو هيم على الأبواب خو وشننتم لبنا خو ودبر طوبهم بشفت خو ببيت خو وبلغت خو بالدارخ وبشخ بخو وبقوم خو وبشركم لأفعل يوذا خو وهايو لطفت بين عينا خو واختفتم على المزوز في بيت خو وبشعر خو.
For the Shamru, page 50.
You can sense there's some of the. Hold on, that's it. The difference is that the O is an E, the Ein is Ein, the Vav is a Wa, but similar to the Ashkenazim, the Kamatz O is an O. So those are some of the unique signs of the Yemenite diction. Okay, so with that, we didn't chant Shema ourselves, so we'll chant it for ourselves together, going back up here. And in our the way we're familiar with it, we'll chant it together. Shema Yisrael, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושילמתם לבניך ודיברתם בשבתך בביתך ובלכת בדרך שבך לך וקשרתם מאוד על ידך ויתקפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוז ביתך וישמרך. Continue silently, and we take the tzitzit in hand. And we continue, we take the tzitzit in the hand, and we continue, Vayomer Adonai Moshe Lemor Daber B'nei Yisrael V'ata lehem v'osu lehem tzitzit Al kanfei bigdehem lidorotam V'natnu tzitzit Hakanaf b'til techelet V'lachem letzitzit V'ritem otos Chaznem mikol mitzvot Adonai ועשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם, אחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, אתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני לכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אליכם אמהד. True and faithful is our God. And we're going to scroll on down, continue with the song of deliverance of the children of Israel as they pass through the shores of the Red Sea from slavery to freedom. We're going on down the page. Page 350 in Siddusim, Shalom 115 in the Friday version. Tilo le'eleyon baruch hu mevorach Moshe uvnei Yisrael Chanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam Mi kamocha bo'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Norati lo tosei ve'eleh Shira Chadasha Shifu Geolim Shemcha Sifatayah Shira Chadasha Shifu Geolim Shemcha Sifatayah Yachad Kulam Odo Yachad Kulam Odo Bimlechu Be'ah Amru Adonai Yimloch so Yisrael, Kumavi Ezrat Yisrael, Lechinu Mecha, Yehuda Yisrael, Goaleinu Adonai Tzivot Shema, Yedosh Yisrael, Baruch Adonai God, Yisrael. And we continue with the Amida, page 352, 353 in Sim Shalom, I guess probably 115 in the Shabbat version, and we open Adonai Sefatai Tiftachu Pi Agiti Letecha, Lord, open my lips and my mouth shall chant thy praise. And then we're going to start together the opening verses, and then the Kedushin, which continues silently. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melei Avoteinu Eloi Abraham Eloi Yitzchak Eloi Yaakov Ha'el Sarah Eloi Rivka Eloi Rachel Eloi Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Anora Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Ganei Hakol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Ger B'neihem L'man Shemo B'Yahava Moshe Moshiach Magen Baruch Adonai Magen Avraham U'Bokei Tzara Ata Gibor Yom Adonai Mechayev Matav Mashiach Orid Hakal together Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayem Eitim B'Rachamim Rabim Zomem Noflim B'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato L'Shedei Amar Mi'achava Gevurot Umidom Elav Melech Memid Umechayem Matzmiach Yeshua Ne'emonot L'Chayot Eitim Baruch Adonai Mechayem Hametim. And we continue with the Kedusha. We're going to skip down. Second. And we are ready here. Page will be 358 and following in Siddur Sim Shalom 116 in the Shabbat version. Nekadeshim habalam keshem shemakdishim atavish memarom kakatuv ayad neviecha karazal zevi amar kadosh 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 Adonai Tzivaot Aretz Kevodo Od Vikol Rash Gadol Adir Chazak Mashpim Kol Mitnasim Lumat Serafim Notabar Yomeru Baruch Adonai Mimekomo Omihim Kamcha Makenu Tafia Betim Lachalem Kim Hakim Anachnu Lach Matai Tim Loch Betzion Korvim Betishkom Titgadash Betoch Yerushalayim Netzach Netzachim V'eineinu tirena Yimloch Adonai le'olam elayim Zion v'davada. Hallelujah. Now, a second. And we continue. Lidovadon, Agi Galecha Lenetzach Nitzachim Kirushcha Nagdish Shefachai Lahinu Mi Pino Loyamush Lemeshlam Vet Kiamel Kadov Gerashata Baruch Chatarnai Ha'el Arkadosh. And now we're going to continue silently. Scroll. Matnat Chevko Kieved Nemon Karatala. Shabbat.
Wait a minute. Sim Shalom Tov.
Ose shalom b'imramavu, yaseh shalom aleinu v'kuseh b'imeru. Amen. Now I'm starting to get a tickle in my throat. Luckily for me, this cantor from New York will help me out with Vishamru, and you can listen in a beautiful rendition of Vishamru. And I pulled the prayer back up on the screen.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, asot et Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, asot et Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים Imasa Adonai et hashamayim haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashamayim et hashamayim Uvayom Hashavi Shabbat Vainafash Shabbat Vainafash Shabbat Vainafash Veshamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Be'olam Veshamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Be'olam.
Chatzi Khan.
Okay, now.
It would be
Okay, so now we're ready for our unit of study. And I'm going to go here back to Pirkei Avot. I pulled up on the screen for you, where the reading of one of the two pairs. The first was Yeshua ben Parachia, and now Nitai Arbel. And Yeshua ben Parachia talked about the importance of creating a teacher and a friend, and judging everybody with righteousness. Now, there's always the counterpoint. So Nitai Arbeli talks about, well, where are the dangers? Here are the positives, where are the dangers? What's the danger? Harchek mishachen ra. So on the one hand, you have to have a good friend, right, or a good teacher. Avoid the bad neighbor. Do not become a companion to the evil. I think one of the things that come out now, sociological studies, in tracking disease and illness, is that people tend to cluster into patterns where healthy people associate with healthy people, and people who have habits that lead to ill health tend to associate with people who have similar habits. Very simple. This is the group influence. So as much as we may talk about the individual taking on responsibility, you must put yourself in a situation sociologically where you associate with people who are positive people. You associate with people who give you rather than take from you, drain you. You associate from people who have good behaviors to emulate. Right? It goes you look for the good person, you keep away from the evil person. Right? You create this atmosphere, a social atmosphere. Right? And then finally, the first one said, be favorable to everybody. This one says, Al tityesh min haparanut. Do not give up on the idea of retribution. There are all these terrible people around you. They're having a good time. Do not give in thinking that they will not come up in the end. That there is at some point a reckoning. That at some point, that which is good is rewarded eventually. That which has been bad is paid back, right? I talk about karma. People like to talk about karma. That may be it. You do good, you get good. At some point, where we don't know. You do evil, you get evil. At some point, where we don't know. But you have to have that faith that good has reward, evil has punishment, somewhere in it, in order to keep ourselves straight in society. So that is for the teaching of Nitai Arbeli. And we go to the Kaddish the Rabbanan. Those reciting, please recite with me. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yamad Yivrach Yirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon, V'yamechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, B'agalav Zman Kari V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, L'olam Lo Me'amaya, Yeborach, V'yishtabach, V'yipo'ar, V'yitamam, V'yitnasei, Vit hadar, vit ale, vit halal, shmei dekucha, berihu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'amar v'imru amen, al Yisrael v'arabanan, v'al tamidehon, v'al tamidei tamidehon, al kol man de'oskim b'oraita, di v'ata hadein v'di b'chol atar v'atar, lehein l'chon l'chon, shlom araba, china v'chisav rachamin, hain arichem, zon evriche, v'kodem v'kodem ahu handi v'shmar v'imru amen, Yei Shlom Rabba Min Shemai B'Chaim Aleinu V'Arkoi Sevi Remain Ose Shalom Bimramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Arkoi Sevi Imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens above grant peace unto us and to all Israel, to all people. Let us say Amen. Okay, and so we come to the Torah service, and we're going to take out our virtual ark. Those of you who came in late, we're happy to have here special guests with us, Yankel. All right, Zarkos from France, and he's come onto the service with us. It's a big service because we also have Rosh Chodesh, the blessing of the month. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I have something special for that. And it is Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, so added a prayer for the soldiers of Israel, and then a special video presentation for Jerusalem Day. So it's a lot of elements in here. Want to remind you, Thursday evening is Leil Shavuot. Cantor Bryce Megdal will be joining us. She wants to keep herself busy. She's moving out in a few weeks to Florida, where she has a beautiful position. So we wish her well. And by then, there'll be a congregation for her to sing in as we gradually move out of the lockdowns. So that's coming up, and then so that'll be Thursday at 8. You're going to have to provide your own cream cheese. We can't do it this time. And Shabbat will be the second day of Shavuot, and so we add Yisker for that for the second day of Shavuot. So that is coming up in the next week, and hopefully within another 2 weeks or so, signs look good, we may be able to get back into place. A lot of places are beginning to open up religious services again. Synagogues are being more reluctant. We want to, the general consensus is we want to wait 2 weeks till after everybody else has done it to see what happens. And we hedge our bets. Okay, so we're going to watch. We're going to stay focused and announce. And with that, let's... Huh?
We've got to open up the new frontier.
New frontier. I think we'll be able to do it by religion. I think so. And we can do, some synagogues are doing parking lot services. They're just sitting in the parking lot, pulling out chairs, and where it's open at a distance, that's a safe method. So we can do all those things. As long as we're very careful that we are taking precautions, we should be fine. And with that, let us go ahead then. We have our Torah service. We've got our Torah reading for us here. And we're going to have our virtual ark. Today, the Shabbat, instead of being in front of the ark, I am standing over the scenic view of Jerusalem in honor of Yom Yerushalayim. And although you may not be able to see it very well because I have so much clutter on my desktop, I've put the Western Wall also on my desktop for Shabbat. So let us turn to our Torah reading, Torah service. It is page 394 in Siddur Sim Shalom and 139 in the Shabbat version. And let's all join in with gusto. Come, join in. Even if we sound off key, we'll join in. Ein kamocha b'Elohim Adonai, v'ein k'masecha, machutcha machut kol olamim, umemshatecha b'chol dor v'dor, Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz namo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. Avarachamim etiva b'tzoncha etzion Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Ki v'chalev abatachnu melech eram v'nisa Adon ol ha'amim Vayi ben Saron, Vayomer Moshe, Oma Adonai, Ve'yafotzu Oivecha, Ve'yanusu, Mesanecha, Miponecha, Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Devar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato. And we're going to move on down. And let's continue. Be'anarachetz. I haven't done it that often this time, but let's join in. I've got it on the page here in front of us. Hey, be'anarachetz, ve'lishmei kadisha, kadisha yakira, ana amatush bechan. Be'anarachetz, ve'lishmei kadisha, kadisha yakira, ana amatush bechan. Yehiram kadama letiftach libi be'oraita betashlim lishalim lelibi lelibon lecholama Yisrael letavu chayir v'lishlam. Amen. Okay, and now we figuratively are taking the Torah from the Ark in our minds, if not physically, and we continue with the Shema. I chant, and then you follow up. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Join in. Shema
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Gadol Shemo. Join in.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu.
And together, Gadol Adonai Yonaromem Hashemo Yachdo. Lecha Adonai Hagedol Hagevor Hatiferet Hanetzach Behahod Kichov Hashamayim Uvaretz Kichov Hashamayim Uvaretz Adonai Amamlacha Tamid Naseh Lechol Romemo Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu l'Adonai Kadoshu Romemo Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu l'Har Kadoshu Ikadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Okay, and now we come to our Torah reading. Let me stretch out the screen a little bit bigger for you. And we are starting the book of Numbers, Bamidbar. So Joe Ben Lulu is here. He's going to chant the first verses for us. We're going to just do lines 1 through 6, the opening. The word Bamidbar describes the events. It's the first words of the portion, which says, God speaks to Moses in the wilderness. And indeed, this is really the accounting of what happens in the 38 years from the time of the start of the march across the desert, the failed campaign of the spies, the 38 years in between, and then the eve of the entry into the land of Israel. So it starts out then with the taking of account of numbers, and therefore the other name is Numbers. So in Hebrew, the original name was Chumash HaPikudim. Pikudim meaning counting, a book of counting. Because we want to count how many people we have. Nachmanides, Ramban, asks a very good question. Why bother counting? I mean, we do have in general reluctance to count. We have statements here and there. You're not supposed to take a numbering of the children of Israel, and yet we do have countings from time to time. We have a count at the beginning, we have a count after some of the plagues that strike the children of Israel. So why bother with this count? We're marching into the land of Israel. And he says, well, an army has to know how many troops it has, right? We count the able-bodied warriors. That's basically what we're counting in this. So when we talk about 600,000, which is the traditional count based on the reading as we have it, that's 600,000 armed soldiers aged 20 till 60, right? Able-bodied men. And then from that, we extrapolate and we get somewhere like 2 million, 3 million people crossing the desert. Well, you could stand one from one end to the other, and the first one will be in the land of Israel before the last one leaves Egypt at that size. We'll go back to the Ramban. And I said, so why do I need to know how many soldiers I have? I mean, God said we're going to get the land of Israel. We had the failure of the spies because they didn't believe we could get the land of Israel. Oh, now we believe we can get the land of Israel. Why do we need to have a count? And he said, even though God promises you something, doesn't mean that you can be reckless. Even though God promises you that you'll win, he says, it promises you win if you take the right steps. So the right step is to know who you have to count on. Then you can go and make your move, right? So we combine a faith with an open eye to see what's around us. And that's a very important word for us all. We've got bugs all around us. Are we going to get through the bugs? Of course we're going to get through the bugs. God promised us we'll get through the bugs, but we have to do the right steps, right? Take our necessary precautions, whatever the procedures are, try to work through them, and that's how we do it, right? Open eyes, open eyes. Or as the rabbis would say also, very skeptically, and samchim ala nes. Do not rely on a miracle to happen. If you rely just on the miracle, God will see to it that there will be no miracle. You have to take the actions, the necessary actions. So then we do have this other question. We have this, well, how do we really count the people? It sounds like we're counting 600,000, which is one way to read the Hebrew, and that is how the Torah is reading it for us as we have it today. But is that as they understood it then? And a great question, because if you add the numbers up and so on, they say, you know, if you add up the total number of Levites that I mentioned here, it's not equivalent to the total number as counted. It comes out to many fewer. So one of the consensus is that the word 1,000 in modern Hebrew, already in late biblical Hebrew, meaning 1,000, can also have meant a unit, a military unit, platoon, squad, brigade. I don't know how they did the counting in those days. And what it would seem is they're counting then how many military units they have based on military organization, which now makes sense because if you follow the description in the portion, in this portion, the next portion, we're told here are the camps. This is in the front, this is in the back, this is the west side, east side, and the arc in the center. You recognize you have a military camp. So now it makes sense. We're talking about preparations. There's a military advance across the desert. And that fits very well with the theme of Bamidbar. So that's how we have the opening of this chapter. All right, Joe, I give it to you. Joe Ben Lulu. Joe Ben Lulu. Yeah. You're gonna, okay, go ahead. Take it from here.
So 1 through 6?
Yeah.
וידבר אדוני אל משה במדבר סיני באוהל מועד באחד לחודש השני בשנה השנית לצאתם מארץ מצרים לאמור שאו את ראש כל עדת בני ישראל למשפחותם לבית אבותם במספר שמות כל זכר לגולגולותם מבין 20 שנה ומעלה כל יצא צבא בישראל תפקדו אותם לצבתם אתה ואהרון ואיתכם יהיו איש למטה איש ראש לבית עבדיו הוא ואלה שמות האנשים אשר יעמדו איתכם, לראובן, אליצור בן שדור, לשמעון, שלומיאל בן צורי שדי.
Okay. And then the last one, which I didn't give you to read, but that's Yehuda Nachshon ben Nachshon ben Aminadav. Anybody remember who is Nachshon in Jewish legend? So Nachshon is the tradition, as the tradition has it, the fellow who was the first one to set foot into the Red Sea. He said he wasn't waiting. He was going to go ahead and march. And as he got in the waters up to his neck, the waters parted. It wasn't until he was ready to take action that the miracle happened, right? So again, you have to take action. If take wise and studied action, miracles come afterwards. That's the theme. Now, let us go to our prayer for those who are ill. There we go, and I have it here in front of you. We pray for Esther Elisheva, Pinchas Beletoskovsky, Miriam Leodorf, Vyacheslav Bengalina, Moisey Kelchik, Minnie Levins-Pfeiffer, Jennifer Levins, Ronnie Duran, Harriet Levins, Moisey Ben-Manya, Barbara Mormon, Esther Gerson, Joe Alexander, Robert Drato, Roger Rosen, Rachel Aflalo, Jenny Drato, Michael Schinder, Susan Tarkman, Shirley Marco, Fira Feinberg, Judy Alkali, Richard Zeller, Ofer Weinberg, Carmen Fraser, Leva Batsara, Hannah Batsara, Eliyahu Ben Chava, Hannah, Shoshana Batsara, Herb Mormon, Irina Hosepian, Alex Trebek, Hannah Sarah Leah, Bat Rachel, Shimon Meir, Bat Ben Rachel, Hannah Sarah, Bat Kayla Alta, Alan Whalen, and Har Anesti. Please add any other names that you have.
Esther Rachel Batsiva.
Esther Rachel Batsiva.
Sima Harlev.
Sima Harlev.
Ronan Ter Harlev.
Ron Harlev.
Susan Feinberg.
Susan Feinberg.
And Sharon Littman.
Sharon Littman. And other names?
Gabi Tito Gorodisha.
Gabi and Tito Gorodisha.
Wendy Keller.
Wendy Keller.
Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek.
Jack Marston.
Jack Marston.
And Daryl Del Sol.
Daryl Del Sol. And all those who are ill, whether from virus or from any other source of illness or injury, whether among the Jewish people or people of all faiths, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishlach lehem refuah shlema, put nefesh refuah haguf, Shabbatim ezok hasaban karibinum, amen. The Holy One send them healing both in body and in mind, together with the whole house of Israel and all peoples, and let us say amen.
Amen.
And
Amen.
Amen. And we have the Mishaberach with the melody of and I'm going to move this over a second. Give me a second. The words of the Mishaberach as Debbie Friedman has chanted it. I'm going to try to move this over a little bit.
The version. That's how we chanted.
Yeah, I think it's her original.
Yes, it is.
And so I've got her chanting it for us. We got this over the side. And the words are here, and here she is.
Really hard for me to, especially in these times, to be with so many people and to not sing the Mishaberach with you. So I'm just going to do it, and I'll sing it first for you and ask you not to sing along. And then I'll ask you to join with me and to hold in your minds and hearts the names of those people in your lives in need of healing. And for all of those across the seas, all of those we don't know, and all of those for whom there is no one to ask for blessings of healing and well-being. This is for you. us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. This is still for you. מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Misheberach avotenu, Misheberach avotenu. Mekor habracha, Mekor habracha Li'imotenu, May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Misheberach imotenu, Misheberach imotenu, Mekor habracha laavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal
of spirit,
and let us say
Now we come to the Haftarah. Tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, new month of Sivan. It's the month in which Shavuot falls. It's the only holiday for which we don't have a date, but we know because it's always a certain number of days after the second day of Pesach, so we always know when it falls anyway. But we announce the new month, and so the Haftarah is a different Haftarah, what's called Machar Chodesh. And it's taken from the story of King David, and when he was a young man, and his friend Jonathan, the son of King Saul. And it is an example of loyalty. Usually it's given as an example of friendship, but it's not sufficient to talk about friendship. It is, and I just jumped up. Hold on. There we go. It's an example also of loyalty to purpose and to goal. Jonathan understands that his father is not fit to be the king anymore. He understands that David is going to be the king, even though it means that he cannot be king. And nevertheless, he puts his loyalty to, and again, it's not to David as a person alone, but also to David as the anointed by Samuel that comes ahead of his own needs and his own goals. And hence the selection here from the story of David and Jonathan as they describe how they will determine whether Saul is going out to kill David or not. And this is the story. So we're just going to read the opening. I'll chant the opening. You can follow the Hebrew, the English. ויברח דוד מן היוד ברמה ויבוא ויאמר לפני יונתן מה עשיתי מה עווני ומה חטאתי לפני אביך כי מבקש את נפשי ויאמר לו חלילה לי לא תמות הנה לא יעשה אבי דבר גדול או דבר קטן ולא יגלה את אוזני מדוע יסתיר אבי ממני את הדבר הזה ואין זאת וישבע דוד ויאמר ידוע ידע אביך כי מצאתי חן בעיניך ויאמר ידע זאת יונתן פן יצא ואולם חי אדוני וחי נפשך כי כפשע ביני ובינך ובין המוות ואומר יונתן לדוד מה תאמר נפשך בסלח ויאמר דוד אל יונתן הנה חודש מחר ואנוכי יושב עם המלך לאכול ושלחתני ונסתרתי בשדה עד הערב השלישית אם פקוד יפקדני אביך ואמרת נשאר ממני דוד לרוץ בית לחם עירו כי זבח הימים שם לכל המשפחה אם כה יאמר טוב שלום לעבדך אם חרו יכרה לו דרכי קלתה הרע מאמו ועשית חסד על עבדך כי בברית אדוני הבאת את עבדך עמך אם יש בי עוון אמיתני אתה ועד אביך למה זה תביאני. So David says when you sit with your father for the Rosh Chodesh celebration, the big meal, and I'm not there, and he asks about me, let's say I had to go to a family sacrifice, and if he says, fine, I know things are all right. If he shows anger, then I know I'm in trouble. Does Saul show anger? He throws his spear at Jonathan, his own son, almost killing him in anger. Jonathan sees that, knows that David must be warned and must flee. So that is the story of Jonathan and Saul. Now, we come to our prayer for our country and the prayer for Israel. I said this is Memorial Day weekend, and we all know that we owe, especially as Jews, we owe so much to American soldiers in ending World War II, bringing an end to Hitler, the part the Americans played in it, along with the French, the English, the Russian, Soviets, and so on, and in all the wars, and not only military men, but also people in front line of service like firemen and policemen, as in September 11th, or in the medical services, as is now, so many of them facing real risk going in and day out, sometimes without the right equipment. So we have them in mind, and we dedicate our thoughts to them with this one, the original.
In presenting to you the star of our program, Miss Kate Smith.
Hello, everybody. It is my happy privilege to introduce a new song, God Bless America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance grateful for a land so
Okay, we don't always appreciate what we have. It may not be perfect, but it beats a lot of other options in the world. And those people who've lived through other forms of government can tell that very easily, can tell the difference very easily. We now continue, turn our thoughts to Israel, and we have our prayer for Israel, and then I want to add a prayer for the soldiers of Israel, as we are on Yom Yerushalayim. We did not have a chance to do it at Yom Ha'atzmaut, and I asked Simon to get it to me, and we finally got it done right. So I'm going to do the prayer for Israel together, and then the prayer for the people of the Defense Forces of Israel. Second. Okay, and we join in. Avinu Shabashamayim, Soyesai Begalo, Borechet Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Smicha Gulatenu, Again Aleha, Berat Hasdecha, Ufros Aleha, Sukat Shalomecha, Shlachacha Bamicha, Shasareh B'Yatzeha, Taknem Beitzatova Milfanecha. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Avinu Shabashamayim, do you say Begalo? Bless this land with lasting peace and everlasting joy, and let us say, Amen, Amen. And as I said, I wanted, and I asked Simon to do this. This is the Hebrew text and the English translation of the prayer for the Defense Forces of Israel, those who fought in the independence and and those who are serving now. And this is in their honor. Go ahead, Simon.
מי שברך אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל, העומדים על משמר ארצנו, והרי אלוהינו, מגבול הלבנון ועד מדבר מצרים, מן הים הגדול עד לבוא הערבה. ייתן אדוני אלוהינו אויבינו הקמים עלינו ניגפים לפניהם. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור ויציל את חיילינו מכל צרה וצוקה, ומכל נגע ומחלה, והישלח ברכה והצלחה, והישלח ברכה והצלחה, בכל מעשה דם ידבר שונאינו תחתיהם, ויתרם בכתר ישוע בעטרת ניצחון, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, כי אדוני אלוהיכם ההולך עמכם להילחם לכם עם אויביכם להושיע אתכם. ונאמר אמן.
תודה רבה. Simon himself was, of course, in the defense forces of Israel. He was wounded in the Yom Kippur War himself. So that's why I figured that he would be appropriate to chant this for us. And now it is also Rosh Chodesh Benson. So this version of the prayer book does not have the full text with the Rosh Chodesh Benson in it. And I found a partial text, which is here, but I said, let's chant the first part. It's in the page 418 in the Shalom prayer book, and we're going to hear it chanted by Cantor Avi Schwartz, Park Avenue Synagogue. There's so many beautiful videos. May we be blessed with long life and sustenance, free from shame. Okay, beautiful rendition. Also classic cantorial trill in his throat. And so we will announce the Rosh Chodesh. Here I pulled out the page for the actual announcement. You have it in front of you on the screen. I hope you can read it, that it's large enough to read. Mishasa Nisim, Mishasa Nisim, 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 Lavoteinu, Mishasa Nisim, Mishasa Nisim, 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 Lavoteinu, Galotam Yadut Lecherut, O Yegalotan Bikarov, Yikabeth Nilachenu Me'aba Kanfota Aretz, Haverim Koisevenu Amen. All the people of Israel are one fellowship, and we say Amen. Rosh Chodesh Sivan Yeh B'Yom Shabbat Macharat HaShabbat Ha'Ba'aleinu V'Arkoiseh L'Tova. The new month of Sivan will be this coming Sunday. May it come to us for blessing and for all the house of Israel. Yechadasheu HaKadosh Baruch Hu Aleinu V'Kol Mar Yisrael L'chaim u'l'shalom l'sasan u'l'simcha l'yishua v'chama v'namar. Amen. May this month bring us life and peace, happiness and joy, salvation and comfort, and let us all say Amen. 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 That's it. We need life and peace and salvation and comfort and get through this and get out of our cages speedily and quickly. We say Amen. We come back, we're going to wrap up our service. Return the Torah, and then we're going to move to our theme of Yom Yerushalayim, and this one we're going to have a good time with it. Yeah. Pick up our virtual Torah and we march around. Hallelujah, Shem Adonai, Kiniskach Shemo Levado, Odo Aleretz V'Shamayim, Vayarem Keren Le'amot Tehila, Alecho Hasidav, Livnei Yisrael, Am Kerovo. Hallelujah, Hallelujah. And we continue. Mizmor LeDavid, and let's try to shift the melody. Avu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Avu l'Adonai kavod ha'oz, Avu l'Adonai k'vod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai v'hadat kodesh, Kol Adonai al ha'mayim, El ha'kavod niri, Adonai, Adonai, al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, V'shaver Adonai et azehavonon, V'yarkiden kemo egel vanon, V'siryon kemo ben re'emim, Kol Adonai chotzev lavodesh, Kol Adonai yachimin bar, Yachil Adonai min bakadesh, Kol Adonai yecholei layalot, Vayechesov ye'arot, Hecholov, Kol omer kavod Adonai lamu avu yashav vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. And we take the Torah, put it back in the ark. I've given you a great teaching. Do not abandon my Torah. It's Chaim here. There's a tree of life to those who hold on to it, and their supporters shall be happy. It's Chaim here. Lamachazikim ba'vitom cheha me'oshar deracheha dachenam b'chol netivotah shalom. Ashihi beinu Adonai elecha b'nashema Hadesh Hadesh Yameinu And now, the Yom Yerushalayim. We'll talk about Jerusalem. Open. There we go. I'm going to give my introduction, then we'll move over to the musical videos. They really go in the theme one after the other, and I'm going to show how. It's been 53 years to the Six-Day War, which was in June of 1967. Those of you who were at least youngsters or young adults at that time, you'd remember, even sitting here in the United States, the great fear and anxiety that we all held for the safety of the people of Israel. The Egyptians had pulled out, forced the United Nations out of the Sinai, amassed the largest gathering of tanks since the battles in North Africa in World War II. At the same time, the Syrians had amassed massive tanks on the Golan Heights, and at the same time, they had convinced the king of Jordan that it was worth to join in because they were going to smash Israel in a short time and they were going to come in and take the pieces. And the Israelis had dug thousands and thousands of mass graves because they were fearful of the casualties that would happen in this war. And within 6 days, we know it turned around. The Air Force wiped out the Egyptian Air Force within a day, within an hour, really. The Egyptian forces were defeated within 2 days in the Sinai, 2 or 3 days. The Jordanians a little bit longer in the West Bank, then the Syrians in the Golan the last days of the war. And in battle actions that could not have taken place. Battle actions like driving tanks straight up the Golan Heights where tanks could not go, things like that. So great, there can only be, only the word miracle can be used to describe how this took place. And so it led to the unification of Jerusalem. There are those who would complain, why is it the United States recognizes East Jerusalem as part of Jerusalem? It is that it was always historic Jerusalem. And it was to have been resolved by referendum within a few weeks after the close of the War of Independence in 1948 and the ceasefire agreements. And that referendum was never brought about because Jordan illegally took the West Bank and East Jerusalem and kicked out every last single Jew. We must remember, they kicked out every last single Jew. Well, Jerusalem itself is once again open. It's open to Jews, open to Christians, and open to Muslims. And there's a beauty and mystery around Jerusalem. Have any of you ever heard of what's called the Jerusalem syndrome? The Jerusalem syndrome is a behavior of people who come to Jerusalem for the first time, Jews or Christians or any other people.
A lot of Asians.
And they're carried away by the mysticism of, I see Doug went to Jerusalem, carried away by the mysticism, the atmosphere, the experience. And they go absolutely crazy and insane. And it's documented. It goes on and on and on. It's in modern times, also earlier. Just being there in the presence of history overwhelms a person. For that, a lot of Israelis don't like to live in Jerusalem because they feel it's overwhelming. When they go to Jerusalem, it's an overwhelming experience. They prefer Tel Aviv. Give me the beach. I don't want to be overwhelmed by this history. And then there are Israelis in Jerusalem who would never set foot in Tel Aviv. Say, well, everything is washed away in the beach. It's not the same. Okay. Well, Jerusalem goes back. It's actually older than King David. We know that. It's 1,000 years before King David. It's the oldest mention is in the year 2000 before the Israel. There'll be 4,000 years ago in Egyptian text where it's called Yerusalimum. Yerusalayim. Shalayim. And the Bible, the first mention in the Bible is with Abraham, who in the War of the Kings visits at the end of the war the king, who is also the priest of Shalem. Shalem, we know, is one of the names of Jerusalem. And he there gives him an offering. And the king of Shalem is Kohen Le'el Elyon, priest of the high God. So, in other words, Jerusalem is identified with something very sacred already back then. And then when David comes in to unite the northern and southern tribes together, he needs a capital in the center. Just like Washington, D.C. was placed in the center between the northern and southern colonies and states. So Jerusalem was placed halfway between the northern tribes and the southern tribe of Judah. And it wasn't in anybody's hands among the tribes. It was a neutral territory. It was still left in the hands of the Jebusites, one of the early Canaanite peoples. And David takes it over. A little bit of intrigue and some questions how he actually does it, but he takes it over and he makes it his capital. And that is that 3,000 years ago. Remained the capital of the southern area. The north didn't accept it. The southern did. And we are the descendants of this people of the south, Judah, hence Jews, Judeans, because that was the southern tribe. And then in rabbinic sources, of course, it's attributed with all sorts of wonderful attributes like this. We were told 10 measures, 10 asraka bin yofi. It starts with wisdom. Asraka bin chokhmah yadu la'olam yishon natna tish'a. Right? And then 10 measures of wisdom descended to the world. Eretz Yisrael took 9 of them, and the rest of the world took 1. Then it goes on to the beauty. Asaka bin Yofi, 10 measures of beauty descended to the world. Jerusalem took 9, and all the rest of the world, its entirety, took 1. Now, this is from Kiddushin. In the Talmud, Jerusalem has already been destroyed a long time before, but we know that Jerusalem, up to the time of destruction, was one of the wonders of the ancient world. It had been rebuilt completely by Herod and was considered one of the great beauties of the Roman Empire. And of course, then we have the famous song. We can't have a Yom Yerushalayim without it. So we're going to hear this one, Yerushalayim Shel Zahav by Naomi Shemer. And it's sung by Shuli Natan. So I found an original recording from Shuli Natan with beautiful visuals of Jerusalem today. So I'm going to play that one shortly. He wrote it before the Six-Day War as a contest song for the Israeli Song Festival. It won the first prize. And then a few weeks later, Jerusalem was unified. And so she changed the verse. One of the verses says, we cannot go down to the ancient wells. We cannot go down to Jericho. And she reworded and said, now we can go to the ancient wells. And now we can go down to Jericho and to the Dead Sea. So that is the Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, the wind of the hills, clear as wine, and the smell of the pines. All right, so we'll hear that one. And then moving on, and then we'll go to the next theme, and then we're going to just play the music straight without introduction. On the centrality of Jerusalem in Jewish thought, the Babylonians were the first to destroy Jerusalem, 586. The exiles sit in Babylonia, they cry, the Babylonians tell them, sing us a song from your country. They say, how can I sing a song of the Lord in a strange land? And then the famous line that Jews recite at the wedding ceremony. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, if I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. So see, going back then, how that became then central in the Jewish imagination. So the prayer book placed it, the centrality of Jerusalem, into the prayer book. So that 3 times every day a Jew would say, oh, let our eyes see your return with mercy to Zion, to the city of Jerusalem, to the Temple Mount, to the Har Zion. Right? 3 times a day. We couldn't forget it. And then I'm going to play a song that was the theme song of Jerusalem long before Jerusalem of Gold. It's still a beautiful song by itself, Yerushalayim, written 1928 by poet Avigdor HaMeiri. And the version I have is sung by Dudu Zachai. And I picked it because of beautiful images of ancient Jerusalem, old Jerusalem, from the 19th and early 20th century, before the whole section was redone. Remember this, that when the armistice was agreed upon in 1949, the Jordanians took over, they destroyed every symbol of Jewish existence inside the old city, tore down ancient synagogues, took the cemetery and made paving stones from the cemetery. That's what the Jordanians did. Now, when people talk about, well, Israelis are destroying the heritage of East Jerusalem, this is not what the Israelis did. It was what the Jordanians did. And we'll see what it was like then before, as we hear the song. Shalom lach Yerushalayim. I see the vision in front of me of Jerusalem. Peace to you, O Jerusalem. Hundreds of generations have dreamed our view to see you in your vision. Right? And that's the Me'al Pisgat Haratzofim. All right, I prostrate myself to you, the summit of Mount Scopus. All right, so those are the words there. Then it's going to go ahead. We're going to come in with two other songs in this one about the mystery of Jerusalem and its pull. There was a great Jewish poet and philosopher, Yehuda Levi, who wrote these words in the 1100s. He said, "Libi b'mezach v'anochi b'sof ma'arav." My heart is in the east, but I'm at the end of the west. The end of the west in those days was Spain. You couldn't go further west than Spain without dropping off the end of the earth. And the east would be Jerusalem. That's the other end of the known world, the end of the Mediterranean Sea. In his last years, he made his way to the land of Israel and Jerusalem, and it is said that as he came near Jerusalem, he was overpowered by the sight of the holy city and created his most beautiful elegy, which is still chanted on Tisha B'Av. Zion, 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 Halo Tishali L'Shlom Asirach. O Zion, why do you not ask of the fate of your prisoners? And it said at that time, as he was chanting this poem, he was ridden, trodden down and killed by an Arab horseman who dashed forth from a gate. Hence the tragedy of this poem. Again, this is a legend. We do not know the actual events, but there must be something behind it. And then later on, one of the great Hasidic figures, Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, running all over the place, I'm sorry, said, "Wherever I am going towards Jerusalem." All right, this is Jerusalem in the mind. If we couldn't make it in the physical, in the flesh, it was in the mind at least. And we also, by the way, in marking Yom Yerushalayim this weekend, we also are marking Ethiopian Jewry Day. It's a day dedicated to the memory of those Ethiopian Jews who died trying to get to the land of Israel. There was about 4,000 Ethiopians who died out of 80,000. That's about a 5% death out of the total that made it out in the 1980s and 1990s. My son's partner in his investment business was one of the pilots that flew them out. And so we have this chant. It's a mix of Hebrew and I think Giz, which is the equivalent among the Ethiopian Jews of Yiddish or Ladino, their personal language that we use for their liturgy and so on. And as we bow to Jerusalem at all times, north and south, we bow towards Jerusalem, priests and prophets all bow to Jerusalem. So you're going to have that song. This year, the Israel representative to the Eurovision, which unfortunately was canceled, is a child of those refugees. And one more song that will conclude with this selection is from the Psalms. It's actually in the morning service at the end of the Psalms, after the Ashrei, Psalm 147. Shabchi Yerushalyim et Adonai, Hallelujah l'Hayach Tzion. Praise the Lord of Jerusalem. Praise the Lord of Jerusalem. Praise your God, O Zion, for you strengthen the bars of your gates. For you strengthen the bars of your gates. So we're going to hear this one. The version is a popular Israeli version. It was written by noted Israeli singer Avia Medina, who is Yemenite. So there's a Yemenite influence in it. There is Mediterranean influence in it, North African influence in it. And then it became adopted by the Greeks. Interestingly enough, a lot of Israeli music is Greek influenced, and now it's the Greeks have picked it up from the Israelis, and they sing it in their clubs, and they sing it in the Hebrew. So we're going to hear that version also. So now we go to your listening pleasure. I'm going to close this out and go. Get this out for your listening pleasure. This round medley of songs for Yom Yerushalayim.
Precious teaching do I give you, never...
Hold on. Here we go. Shuli Natan's version. I'm going to enlarge the screen.
ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. אך בבואי היום לשיר אלך, ולך לקשור כתרים, קטונתי מצעיר בנייך, ומאחרוני המשוררים. כי שמך צורבת השפתיים, כי נשיקת שריו, אם אשכחך ירושלים, אשר כולה זהב. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. חזרנו אל בורות המים, לשוק ולכיכר, שופר קורא בהר הבית, בעיר העתיקה. ובמערות אשר בסלע, אלפי שמשות זורחות, נשוב נרד אל ים המלח, בדרך יריחו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני
And now, as I said, the one that was the hymn of Jerusalem before Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, Me'al Pisgat Ha'atzofim. You can see some scenes from the Six-Day War, but also scenes of the early Old Jerusalem.
מעל פסגת הר הצופים, אשתחווה לך אפיים. מעל פסגת הר הצופים, שלום לך ירושלים. מאה דורות חלמתי עלייך, לזכות לראות באור פנייך. ירושלים, ירושלים, האירי פנייך לבנך. ירושלים, ירושלים, מחורבותייך אבנה. מעל פסגת הר הצופים, שלום לך ירושלים. אלפי גולים מקצות כל תבל, נושאים אלייך עיניים. באלפי ברכות היברך מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה ירושלים ירושלים אני לא אזוז מפה ירושלים ירושלים יבוא המשיח יבוא
Now, a very different tone and sense, this Ethiopian chant, based on a historic classic Ethiopian. It's a mix. This one,
Yerushalayim ويعمتو مسرق ومعرب يسجدوا يروسالم سجدوا يروسالم سجدوا يروسالم ويعمتو كانت ونبيات يسجدوا يروسالم يسجدوا يروسالم يسجدوا يروسالم ويعمتوا نجستات ومسافنت يسجدوا يروسالم يسجدوا يروسالم يسجدوا يروسالم ويعمتوا دنشتلك ونسيت يسجدوا يروسالم يسجدوا يروسالم تيانا وزنخ كشبات ركول دانونا إما بنوت شوراتنا كيم خاسلي خالي ما انتبارين كبيرتي أدنى كبيرت نفسي أدبار وخلدي بشمايم اشتاحبوا ليروشالايم اشتاحبوا ليروشالايم רחבו אל ירושלים מתוך גלות כל עם ישראל וכל דור ודור התפללו 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 אמן 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 תבנה ותגונה לירושלים ירושלים אמן 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 תבנה ותגונה לירושלים אמן 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 በጊዜያችን ትሰራ ኢየሩሳሌም ኢየሩሳሌም አማን 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 ትባነ በትቆነን ኢየሩሳሌም አማን 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 በጊዜያችን ትሰራ ኢየሩሳሌም ኢየሩሳሌም Yeruhsalayim, 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 Yeruhsalayim,
go from Ethiopia to Greece.
ירושלים, משם, מהבמה של מועדון חרמה ביוון, אחרי שנים שאנחנו לקחנו אלינו, זה אחר. אז שבחי ירושלים אלינו עכשיו.
Shabbat Yerushalayim
Everybody, unmute. Let's let all of you unmute.
Great visuals on that first.
Yeah, hold on. Let me try this. I want to unmute everybody. Why is it not unmuting? Give me 1 second. I want to unmute. I'll just go one at a time and unmute. I'm trying to open up the microphones. Nothing doing it. There we go. So, notice it's a decidedly Greek twist. It's funny. It's at a Greek nightclub, and they're all singing the Hebrew from the Psalms. Okay, everybody, I guess that we're out. Everybody's out of my muting cage. Okay, and we're going to shrink this back down. Escape, where's my escape from the screen? We should make it escape. How do I get out of here? Give me a second. There we go. I found the magic button somewhere in here. There it is. That's it. Okay. Hold on. Go down. Okay. Hold on. My screen has run away with me. Okay. Let's shrink it down. Okay, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that visual tour of Israel with the visuals. Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, the old Malhar Tzofim, flavor of Israel, flavor of Jerusalem. The last one, the Israelis and the Greeks, at one point they weren't always on talking terms, but in the last years they've come buddy, especially vis-a-vis the Turks. So the Turks have brought the Greeks and Israelis together. The Ethiopians are now percent and a half of the population of Israel. Just as an interesting curiosity, it turns out that at one time there were significant kingdoms of Ethiopian Jews in Ethiopia, actually for quite some period going back 1,000 years or more, just as there were in Yemen just across the waterway before the rise of Muhammad. So much more Jewish settlement and activity than we knew. They were cut off, though, from Jewish sources, and hence their traditions stop with traditions that were in the Second Temple period, but don't include all of the texts that we have and none of the rabbinic texts that we have. So it's a very interesting mix. So let us wrap our service, Enke Eloheinu, and we've got this lovely Bulgarian choir, which I've had before for us. They're going to help us wrap up the service. And then Aleinu, and we'll call it for the day. So we're back with the Bulgarian singing Enke Eloheinu with the Ladino text, which you have here also in front of you. There we go. And let it go. Sing it. I wrote the now let's go ahead with Aleinu. See all of us here together. Aleinu, which we have on the screen in front of us. And let's all join in together. Aleinu l'shabach l'adon hakol l'tekidu l'tzeir reshi shelo sargei haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'amonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech ha'yamachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Notei Shamayim V'Yosei Haaretz U'Mashe V'Karo V'Shamayim Yimav U'Shchinatu Zo B'Gavhei Meromim U'Eloheinu Eino Ememakenu V'Sulato Kakadu V'Torato Kadat Hayom V'Ashivota Ele Vavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim B'Shamayim Imav V'Al Haaretz Mitachteinu. And the last line, which you don't have in the Siddur here, V'nema V'haya Adonai L'melech ha'aretz V'yomahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad. And we add in our thoughts the memories of those who passed away this year, Agatha Setzmari and Francis Mandel, and are those whose the anniversary of their death took place at this season in previous years. The outside, we commemorate the outside, Nadia Usupova, Joseph Usupov, and Fanny Tarnowski. May their memories be for a blessing. And we ask that those who are reciting the Mourner's Kaddish, please join with me. The Kaddish is here on the screen in front of you. Yitkadal, Yitkadash Shemei Rabba, Bi'amad Yivrach Yirutei, Bi'amich Malchutei, B'chayechon Bi'amechon, U'chayedechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalav Zman Karivim Ramein, Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam L'Me'amaya, Yibarach Vishtabach, Vipar V'Tamam Mitnasei, V'Tadar V'Talev V'Halal Shmei D'Kudsha Berichu, Leila Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Tush B'Chata V'Nechemata, Damriam B'Amar B'Imru Amen. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Shlomo Rabba Min Shemar V'Chaim Aleinu B'Koysev V'Romein Ose Shalom V'Imramav V'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu B'Koysev V'Imru Amen. Amen. And now we are ready to wrap up our service. We're going to call it an end for the day. I didn't notice, is Yankel still on? Yeah, here you are. You're still there. Good. Okay.
You can't see me because it's dark here now.
Okay. Yeah, you're nighttime, way into the night now. That's right. What are you, 7 hours ahead?
9 hours ahead. I've
9 hours ahead of us. Okay. So I appreciate that you're burning out the Midland oil to be with us. To everybody else.
Really enjoying it. I'm glad you invited me.
I'm glad you're here.
Good seeing you.
Yeah. And I see everybody else is here. We're going to wrap with
1 centimeter tall, but unfortunately,
it's a virtual mini world. What can I tell you?
You wouldn't be seeing him. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Rabbi, may I add one name for the yard site?
Who do you want to have?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
My grandmother, Miradina Bat Chanaliba.
Miradina Bat Chanaliba, we have her in our thoughts as we recited the Kaddish. May her memory be for a blessing. May you find good comfort in her memory. Good comfort in her memory.
Thank you.
Okay,
Amen.
God bless you. And I hope everybody's staying well and healthy. When we finish, Yoni, can I transfer the mic to you? And everybody
Sure.
can stay and chat. I did see Carmen this time. She hasn't been feeling well. And I don't know if she also couldn't get back on when I had my glitch at the beginning, so I don't know. She usually brings Barbara Dratov on also. I thank Simon. He's not on the line, but he prepared this video. I appreciate it also. So let's all join in Adon Olam, and I have this version, you've heard it before, with this lovely voice. She's an Israeli of Swedish. So we've had Ethiopians, we've had Greeks, we have Bulgarians, we've had everybody in the Shabbat. Right? That's it, from all over the world. So this Brigitta, we can sing along with her. Brigitta Wexler, Adon Olam. We can sing along.
אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא הוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה.
Okay, and now we're going to close out our service and stop and share. Okay, there we go. And so I'm going to take this time to wish all of you Shabbat Shalom. And I'm going to pass the mic over to Yoni. Let's see where you are there. There we go. And you got the mic. Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
It's all yours. Take care.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everybody.
Shalom.
Take care.
Shabbat
Take care.
Shalom.
We're going to have a healthy and good
I think everybody's
Shabbat.
leaving.
Thursday evening, invite friends to come online. Rachel, if you're still there, or Marcel, talk to this Friday cover up. Maybe they want to join us. Maybe they've got some songs to share for us. Cantor Bryce will be with us also. So love to have everybody join. Take care. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.